When you are focused upon something long enough that law of attraction brings you more like it, in time you develop such a propensity toward that vibration, toward that thought, that you begin to have beliefs around it. These words sound weird if you haven't been listening to us for a while, and they are music to your ears if you have been listening to us for a while, because you are vibrational beings first and foremost, living in a vibrational universe. And law of attraction is sorting it all out. We want you to recognize that you have much more vibrational control than you have been exercising, because most humans are focused upon the manifested what is, the result of the thoughts that you've been thinking, not realizing that what is only as a result of the thoughts that you've been thinking. It's not some fact that now, because it's fact, demands or deserves you to think about it. It's the result of the thoughts that you have been thinking. Can you feel the distinction in that? In the beginning days, Esther argued with us, Abraham, it's true, but it's true. I know you don't think I should think about that, but it is true. And I've been trained as a physical human to weigh the pros and the cons, the pluses and the minuses, and to be very objective about all things. And we said, then you have been trained to be very scrambled in your vibration. You have been trained to contradict your own desire on many occasions because of the truth of some reality that doesn't even, in many cases, have anything to do with you. It's just something that you are observing and practicing the vibration of until it will be a part of your reality, if you practice it long enough, because that's how you create your own reality, is by activating vibrations and doing it long enough that law of attraction can garner enough momentum for things to begin to actualize in your experience. So, since we come to you as teachers about law of attraction and about energy, about vibration, sometimes we have a little bit of a hurdle with you, because if you are not willing to accept the vibrational nature of your being, then you cannot hear much from us that will be of any real value for you. Because there is a reality that you are accustomed to calling reality. It's the see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it version of what's around you. But we want to call your attention to a vibrational reality that exists also, that perhaps has not manifested into the full version of the see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it. And if we can get you, just for a little while, to focus upon the vibrational reality, then you can begin to achieve a vibrational focus that is steady enough, chronic enough, that it becomes a belief within you, and then it must move from that vibrational reality into this tangible reality. We've been saying this to you in lots of different ways over time. Many of you followed us right along. We said, you're vibrational. In time you said, okay. You're not ever going to stop saying it, so okay, all right already. We accept it. And then we began telling you that you are more than you are in this physical body, which was not so hard for many of you to understand, because you've been talking about souls and God. You get it. It's just logical. You can't look around this magnificent planet and not acknowledge that there's more going on than just what you're thinking about right here. You're lovely, but you've not scraped enough dirt together to launch it into orbit and make another moon. In other words, you have not figured out that kind of creativity, because that's not what the creativity that you are about is here. So most of you accept that there is something beyond what you are, but we want to convince you that you are the extension, the leading edge creative extension of all of that. And when that begins to come together for you, when you accept that you are an extension of source energy, and that source energy is expanding through that which you are, and that the harmony or the unity between you and the source within you is really what you are looking for in terms of fulfilling your life's purpose and living happily ever after, and just having a good time now, and a good time now, and a good time now. So, as we've talked to you about the vibrational beings that you are, we began to explain to you that the creative process is you sort life and you come to your personal awarenesses of what you prefer and what you don't prefer. And with each of those personal preferences that cannot help but be born within you, it's just the natural process of your synthesizing life? How do thoughts turn to things? And more important, how do I control the thoughts that turn into the things that I want to turn into the things that I want? And we say, you have to accept this vortex version of all that is wanted that you have put there. And you have to learn to tune yourself to this vibrational, vortexual version. And when you do it, when you hold steady on those frequencies, not long enough, but consistently enough, it's the absence of the resistance that you're really going for. I want it, but doesn't get you very far. I want it, but I want it, but I want it, but I don't have it. I want it, but it's hard to get it. I want it, but no one else thinks I should have it or that I can have it. I want it, but that gets you nowhere. That's truncated almost the moment that you are launching it, except that it isn't really stopped when you launched it. It is continued when you launch it and continues to become now that you have launched it. The question is, where are you, dear heart, in vibrational proximity to all that you've asked for and that all that you have become? So when we talk about law of attraction, we have to talk about it in terms of what it is, which means law of attraction means that which is likened to itself is drawn. That which is likened to itself is drawn. It's like the vibrational frequencies that you know about radio signals. You set your tuners to the frequencies of the transmitters. That way you hear it. That way it translates into the physical equivalent that you can realize. You following us? And this is the same thing. You have to set your tuner, your vibrational tuner, which is indicated to you by your emotions. You have to set your tuner to the frequency of what's being broadcast from your vortex. Your inner being stands there. That which you want to call God is there. And all that you've amassed vibrationally is there. All the momentum that you have brought to where you are, which includes everything that you were coming into this experience and all of the wonderful things that you've added to it since, are all vibrationally queued up, ready for you to discover and maintain the frequency of it long enough that momentum can build to the extent that it can manifest into your experience. That's the best way we have of explaining to you how thoughts turn to things. You maintain a frequency long enough that you become the realizer of it. And what happens as you get on that vibrational wavelength, the path literally unfolds beneath your feet. It isn't about efforting. It isn't about knowing what you want and going after it. Step 3 is about you achieving, finding, maintaining, practicing, creating a vibrational atmosphere. Feels good while you're doing it. That allows what's in your vortex to be realized by you. Following that? I think you are. It's the best we've ever said it. It's the clearest you've ever heard it. And it's everything that matters to you. Because life just causes you to sift and sort. You can't stop doing that. Life just is around you. You knew it would be. And you can't stop that step 1, launching of your desires. That is happening and has happened. And you can't avoid, nor do you have anything to do with the vibrational reality that is amassing, that source is tending to. But where your work really is to figure out how to vibrationally create an atmosphere that allows you to be the full realizer of everything that you have become. Because anything less than that doesn't feel good enough to you. You can't have become it and now be disallowing it. That's what negative emotion is. You can't have become it and not let it flow in full form into your experience. You cannot have launched all of that money, all of that abundance, and be pinching it off and feel anything that feels good. You can't pinch off who you are and feel good. You just can't. Do whatever it takes to get yourself in that good feeling place where you are allowing what you want to flow in. But here's the piece. Here's the piece that if you can hear this, you're going to live happily ever after. It's not just creating the atmosphere that allows it to turn from thoughts to things, because that's you focused upon the outcome, isn't it? Oh yeah, if I can get that outcome, I'm willing to do it. We want you to take your eye off the manifested outcome just for a little while. That manifested, park it in the garage, put it in your bed, put it in the bank manifestation that you're looking for. We want you to step away from that big time manifested outcome that you're looking for and focus upon an easy to achieve in this moment manifested outcome of, ooh, that thought just feels good. Because the emotion that you feel when you accomplish this atmosphere that is conducive to allowing your desires to flow seamlessly, non-resisted into your reality, feels so good as it's happening. It's the emotion we want you to go for, because the emotion you can accomplish now. The other outcome is going to take a little bit more momentum. And when you're looking for the big outcome, we love you so much, you know what's coming next, you usually peter out. You usually don't maintain your stance. If you say, I'll be happy, and a lot of you do, I'll be happy when I move into my dream house, and I'll be happy when I find my lover, and I'll be happy when I get enough money, I'll be happy when the kids leave home. I'll be happy, I'll be happy, I'll be happy when, and we say, you're holding yourself in a place of suspended not happiness if your happiness is dependent upon those conditions. So you've been hearing people talk about unconditional love for a long time, but hardly anybody gets it. Most everybody's living a very conditional love. I'll be happy, I'll feel love, I'll feel good, I'll feel alignment when that condition has manifested. And we say, that is so backwards. If you need the condition before you can feel good, then what are you going to do about the conditions that haven't yet manifested? You've got to find a way to unconditionally feel good. You've got to find a way to unconditionally feel good. So, when you think a thought, law of attraction brings you another one like it, if you think that thought for 17 seconds. And you begin to feel the momentum of that thought. Think another thought, hold that thought there, another thought joins it, and another, until you have substantial momentum. And when you hold those thoughts about what you want without the contradictory thought of where is it, when's it going to come, I don't know how this is going to work out. When you aren't doing that, but you are just focused upon what you want, and we'll talk a lot today about how to accomplish that, then your thoughts proceed with law of attraction's help in an unwavering, unwobbling fashion. But if you think about what you want a little, and then you notice that it isn't there, while you're not thinking both of those thoughts at the same time, because you can't, you're pretty fast at the way you think. I want it, but I want it, but I want it, but I want it, but I want it, but. So, I want it, but you are introducing into your habit of thought, into your atmosphere that you are creating, what we are wanting to call the wobble factor. I want it, but little wobble in the early stages of little desires. Sort of kind of want that, and I sort of kind of don't believe it, and there's sort of kind of a little wobble here. But if you want it and doubt it a little, and want it and doubt it a little, and want it and doubt it a little, and want it and doubt it, pretty soon those thoughts have grown in your habit of thought, and now you've got a big time wobble going on, don't you? That big time wobble going on is the one that we're talking about, that then it takes so much effort. You try so hard. You really, really want to create your own reality. We know that you do. But we want to show you how to do it in a much easier fashion. We want to show you how to take the wobble out early on. We want to help you to understand what unconditional love, what unconditional alignment, unconditional wobble freeness really is all about. It's about focus, but it's about focusing and feeling. And it's about finding a way to stop beating up on yourself for what's not done. It's about not beating up on anybody else for whatever is going on too. It's about caring so much about your stability, about your alignment with who you are,